Welcome to another episode of Fox Talks, and this podcast is going to be about our new Fox Siddharth, who has recently joined us. But before we get into that, let me just give you a brief introduction as to what we really do at RedFox Security. So at RedFox Security, we provide comprehensive penetration tests ranging in fields like web application, Active Directory, and hardware. All of these things and information are available on our website, that is https://redfoxset.com. Apart from this, the best part is that we just don't not do pen tests. We have a lot of content that has been provided on academy.redfoxset.com, and again, if you check our YouTube channel, it has a lot of videos and podcasts that have been uploaded on a daily basis. So do check it out, our YouTube channel. Also, there's a new one on the news, that's at RedFox Security Bharat, and that's more of the videos are in a regional language. So again, moving to the podcast, but before the podcast, let me just introduce you guys to myself. So I am Tarak Sakardande. I work as a security consultant at RedFox Security, and with me I have one of the new foxes, that is Siddharth. And Siddharth, this is going to be a fun one. So first, can you just introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure, definitely, Tarak.
Yeah.
I am Siddharth. I have recently joined RedFox Security as another security consultant. I am still a student, but I am very enthusiastic about offensive security and going up against EDRs and malware development and all sorts of stuff. But I'm still very early in my learning journey. So I'm very, very curious to see what all RedFox has in store for me.
Yeah.
And I really met the team yesterday, and I'm very, very excited to learn everything from everyone here.
Yeah, that's really great again. So I mean, it's going to be a fun one. You have joined us, and we are going to make sure that you are always learning new stuff, and if you need any support, you are always there. So before, can you tell me exactly as to why did you pursue your career in cybersecurity?
Sure. So initially, after my 12th was over, I had, I think, 2 or 3 months before my college was starting. It was that COVID year. So colleges were starting a little late. Schools were over a little early.
Yeah.
Right. So in the meantime, I picked up some free courses that were being distributed on Twitter and other channels. And I also did some hack the box and such labs.
Yeah.
And initially it was just something to, distract myself from the absolute nothingness that was happening. But after a point, I actually saw that, the conception of hacking, that you sit on a computer and you can actually break into servers. It was not just restricted to some very super genius people who had a very, very mature skill set, but it is also something that could be learned from the scratch.
Yeah.
Right. So once I was getting the hang of Hack the Box and Try Hack Me, and I completed those courses, I consulted my dad, who really suggested me that I should really pick up network security. Now, that is kind of how my journey started. And in my college, I had a lot of free time in the evenings. So with it still being the COVID time and not being able to socialize outside of my house, Discord and other hackers became my brotherhood.
Yeah.
So with them, I was able to really culture my skill sets in different parts of cybersecurity, and also learn the underlying technologies and underlying concepts of research we have to go through to do anything at all. So that's basically how I started.
That's great again. So I mean, that's really making sure that you are really making the most of the time. And so this one was actually impressive, because at my time in COVID, I was busy playing video games. So anyways, so what initially attracted you to RedFox?
So I was actually following RedFox for more than a year before I actually reached out to Karan sir. So I could see a lot of posts involving ADCS attacks, right?
Yeah.
Which Shashi sir was doing, right?
Yes.
And the fact is, everybody has seen that 140 something odd page long white paper explaining those ESC vulnerabilities, but the way Shashi sir actually, explained the theory, gave us a practical, I could feel that here actual research happens, and it's not just engagements and what you learn on engagements.
Yep.
There is a scope of research outside that as well.
Yes.
And other than that, I saw RedFox being accepted to Black Hat in hardware.
Yeah.
And hardware is something that really intrigues me. I don't know a lot of it, but it's something that again is in my mind, it's in that cool region, right? In which hacking was before.
Yes.
Right now, hardware hacking is in that cool region, and I can see a lot of work happening here. So that's something that initially attracted me to RedFox.
Yeah, as Siddharth said, we have a major security event at Black Hat Asia, and it's for the training chip of forensics. So if at all you are scared, so a lot of people, they have an initial image about hardware hacking is they are a bit freaked out because, hey, I have to handle all of these wires and stuff. But don't worry, because all of these things will be covered, and we are going to make sure that it's more it has a easier approach and everyone learns at the end of the day. So yeah, moving on to the next question is that what are your initial impressions about the team and the culture here?
So I landed here on Saturday and I dropped in to quickly meet with the team. So the initial impressions were like nobody is kind of sitting still. Nobody's whiling away their time. Everybody is either working on something, and even if they do get some time off, they're not wasting it by scrolling on their phone. They're kind of upskilling in some way or the other, right? And the culture here is like super comfortable for me. I just landed in Mumbai, and somehow RedFox did not feel like that, corporate entity when you enter, and it's like a heartless entity. It was not anything like that.
Yes.
Right? I met Karan sir, I met Shashi sir. Right? Everybody has a very, very friendly demeanor. Everybody's right there to help you. So the initial impressions have been really great.
Yeah, no wonder that is the sole reason you guys can see me in a polo t-shirt right now and not a formal. So, all right, let's move on. And what skills or strengths do you think you bring to the team?
So my skill set primarily is from a red teaming perspective. Now I would not call it a pure red teaming skill set because I think I have a lot of room to grow there. But network security and system security is something that I've worked on for the past 2 to 3 years. And other than that, I think a little bit of product development is something that I can assist in, right? I've also done that before.
Okay.
So that primarily is my skill set.
Nice. Wow. So now that you've said about what all stuff and skills you bring, what are the 3 things that you can learn at RedFox?
So,
or are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I think the first is to supplement my own skill set with that of those people around me. So I know, I have met everybody, and I know that people here have a very expansive skill set in red teaming, in AppSec, and in all the fields.
Yes.
Right? And I have a limited skill set because I know my skill set. So my first expectation or first thing that I really want to absorb from the team is their skill set as much as I can absorb. So in red teaming is one thing because red teaming is super expansive. The other is to venture into hardware, right? So I have seen how the works go on in hardware. So I would really love to indulge and explore that side as well. And the last thing that I really think that I could learn from here is reporting. Yeah. So for the past 2 days, I have been multiple times reminded that we have a very strict and very proper reporting standard. Yes. And I've seen that standard, and it's really beautiful to look at, honestly. Yeah. And considering it's the actual key deliverable to the technical and non-technical staff or clients. Yes. I think it's very important to have a very, very strong reporting strategy and whatever. So that is something that I really want to learn from the people at here.
Yeah, what a really honest answer. And I mean seriously, reporting is something that we really believe, because, and again, the fact that you just said it, it's because it's more of a good deliverable for the technical as well as the non-technical clients as well. So I really like the way you're thinking and the mindset you are actually in right now. So let's move on to the next one, that is, this is one of the favorite questions that every pen tester likes. But what's the craziest and the most interesting vulnerability that you have ever found in your career?
Okay, so this was like day 2 of me being hired as an intern at my previous organization. We were doing a web-based vulnerability assessment / pen testing. So when we run the initial scans and a few common directory busting techniques, we came across a file which was basically organization name .zip, which when we downloaded it basically had the source code of the whole website.
Oh.
And it suddenly became a white box testing from a black box testing. Right.
Yeah.
So we went through that source code a little bit, and we were able to find an endpoint where we could upload a reverse shell. And that reverse shell gave us remote code execution.
Yep.
So that is something that I found on my second/third day of being hired as an intern. So that was like a very big moment of euphoria for me. Right, and I was expecting now every engagement will be like that, but it did not really turn out that.
I bet you slept very well that night.
Absolutely.
And remote code execution is something that every pen testers love to hunt, and it's just on the radar of everyone. So again, what advice would you give someone in cybersecurity?
So in retrospect, the way I started cybersecurity was more of a compulsion that I had to start it that way, because I did not have people to socialize with, right? I did not have a college club at that time because I was not in college.
Yeah.
So I could not bounce ideas over other people's head. So I was doing it over Discord, right? Now I think the beautiful thing about Discord is, since there is no like everybody's kind of anonymous, there is no personal stake involved.
Yep.
There is next to no gatekeeping there, right? On in communities, people are really helpful to each other.
Yep.
So I was able to learn so much. Like even like when you initially start pen testing, right? You don't know networking much. You don't know programming much. If you start from that point, you need to cover those basics, right? And if you come across an environment in which a fundamental knowledge of those principles is required and you don't have it, you need to know how to research just enough principles to get you through a particular hurdle, right? So the initial stages are always, banging your head against a wall until you realize that you need to strategize at what point you need to bang your head, right? Once you figure that out, like a lot of head banging will be involved, but at least you'll know that, it's productive and it's going to get you somewhere. So I think putting yourself in uncomfortable situations where you don't know anything about an environment should not be off your checklist.
That's really a great answer by you again, Siddharth. Oh my God, you have been blowing this podcast totally. Now let's move on to the next question. That is, how do you stay updated with the ever-changing cybersecurity landscape?
Okay, so now this is something you need to strategize again, because social media has become very, full of nonsense, to be honest, right? You need to game the algorithm so you get a particular feed, right? So it took me a lot of time to game Twitter, and Medium is pretty good actually. But Twitter and LinkedIn, it took me quite a long time to game the algorithm so that I could get, if not the latest, then if not instantly, then at least the latest trends, right? And if not the trends, then the occurrences or the happenings, like some big corporation got hacked, right? So my feed would have 5 to 7 posts on the top, a few posts saying just exclaiming that okay, this happened, and a few posts who delve deep,
Yeah.
right? So I think it takes time to develop such a feed, but these sorts of feeds are, I think, one of the best ways to keep up with how cybersecurity is changing.
It's true. And again, talking about your long-term goals in the cybersecurity career.
So I think, like every long-term goal in your life, they keep changing as you make progress,
Yeah.
right? A little bit, right?
Yep.
So right now, I would love to build a very, very strong red teaming skill set, and I would love to get into a space where I can generate red teaming activities, not generate but rather lead red teaming activities which involve bypassing the the standard EDRs or
Yeah.
the standard defenses
Got it.
which corporations do have.
Yes.
So like my long-term goals are settling down like
Okay.
very comfortably into the red teaming space.
All right, nice. That was really a fun podcast with Siddharth. Again, I would like to give you a major update as we are selected for Black Hat Asia 2024 and we have 2025. I'm so sorry. And the training is for chip of forensics is related to hardware hacking. Again, it's a good one to have you on board, and we will be doing more and more podcasts as and when we go.